there's the Russian starting lineup. Russia against the USA. Grachev, the number 5. Mikhailov, we'll go through that later. The big news for Russia is Andrei Fetisov is not playing. You may have seen him in the semi-final have an ankle injury, and he will not play in the final. Kemp, Miller, Coleman, Kevin Johnson, Joe Dumas starting for the States. Keeping Shaquille O'Neal back is the man in picture there, Don Nelson. And there's been 5 different starting lineups in the 8 games that they've had. So a Polish and a Uruguayan referee. And there's been some criticism of the refereeing here, particularly from Sergei Belov, the Russian coach, who's been saying that they've been playing some NBA rules, which is not what he understood. 1 or 2 things have gone unchecked. And he particularly didn't like the idea of Shaquille O'Neal passing to himself off the backboard.
No, a totally illegal move. You cannot shoot off the backboard deliberately and catch it and then slam it like Shaquille likes to do. Whether or not you can in the NBA, I'm not quite sure, but you certainly can't in international basketball.
News I can tell you is that Croatia have won the bronze medal earlier on today. They beat Greece 78-60. So Croatia, who was surprisingly beaten by Russia in the semi-final, take the bronze. This for gold and silver. USA have only ever won 2 golds. In Rio in 54 and Spain in 86. Russia, of course, is the Soviet Union. Won in 67, 74 and 82. Now, how will the Americans start here? Here's Reggie Miller. Coleman.
Well, a surprise from Coleman there. Everyone's looking to Joe Dumas to shoot the threes and possibly Reggie Miller as well, but Derek Coleman shows he can do it as well. And the Russians, they simply have to improve upon their 8% in that semi-final against Croatia. They beat Croatia, but they hit 1 from 12 from outside the arc. And there's a steal straight away, Joe Dumas.
Kevin Johnson. And there's Coleman again. The 2 and the bonus. And the foul against the man of the match in the semi-final victory over Croatia. Young Mikhail Mikhailov, just 23 years old, from St. Petersburg.
Not the start the Russians wanted. They were so well organized against Croatia, and at the moment their defense in disarray.
Coleman from the line. And the lead is 6 inside a minute. Bazarevic, who had a storming second half against Croatia. An indifferent start, though. Grachev. And Kemp with the rebound. Dumas. What a start from the USA inside a minute and a half. They built a 9-point lead.
Well, what a disaster for the Russians. They have to get their act together very quickly, otherwise it's going to be a rout.
And it's that man, Mikhailov, on the end of that. Sergei Belov, the coach, who said that his dream was to play in this particular match in the final. He's got his dream, he could go one better. Kevin Johnson.
Well, if ever there were a test of Belov's coaching abilities and his man management and his power to motivate, this is it.
Kizurin with the 2. Well, the USA in all sorts of trouble in the first half against Greece and at some of the periods in the second half. But they finally came good. But there's not been one match when they put it together for full 40 minutes. Have they, and are they going to be producing this in the final?
That's 5 from 5 field goals for the United States. What a start for the red-hot favorites.
Kizurin should have made it. In the end, has to wait for Karasev to pick it up. And the foul there. Kevin doesn't want any part of it as Karasev goes to him. fact, it was Mikhailov.
Russia calls time.
Well, Kemp didn't want any part of that, but I can imagine he would have done exactly the same thing at the other end.
Derek Coleman then, who's made such a storming start to this game. And you couldn't buy a ticket here today for love nor money. And there's Fetisov, who had that ankle injury early on in the game against Croatia, and we wondered whether it would be crucial. Well, it has turned out to be crucial because he can't play in the final, but they went on and took the semi without him. Here's Kemp.
Well, the Russians just have to hope that the storm blows at some stage, because at the moment the USA, they haven't missed a thing all night.
Karasev. And it's inbounds from the States. Reggie Miller. Kevin Johnson. And a good rejection that time from Grachev. There's Vazarevich. Looking for the foul, doesn't get it, but he gets the two. They've done well to stay within 7. So strong has been the American star. Lovely pass from Coleman into Kemp. And a good twist as well.
Almost a danger there of that pass being called alley-oop. The pass went so high and Kemp took off almost above the ring.
Karasev. And Kisurin. Now the Russians have been undaunted by this formidable start from the US. And are sticking. Dumas. Reggie Miller. Successful he has been for much of this tournament. 23 three-pointers in the tournament, make that 24.
And Reggie Miller there was virtually on the sideline when he took that shot. A foul that Kevin Johnson, his first.
Team foul of the period. Number 11, Kevin Johnson.
Here's the move from Vazarevich. He'll be doing the bulk of the ball handling and a good percentage of the scoring too for Russia. It's a backcourt violation and not particularly happy. They've started well. The USA have started just that little bit better. Faultless.
3 from 3 from outside the arc. That is stunning.
And Kemp immensely strong under the basket. Now the lead creeps up to 12. Just 4.5 minutes gone. 22 points in 4.5 minutes. Coleman screaming as he brings it down. Dumas. And this is unbelievable start. They've not started like this or anything like it in their 7 matches so far. They've saved it up. They've had a couple of spells like this. Never at the start, and always when Shaquille O'Neal's been on. No Shaq here. And for once, they look as if they don't need him. Dumas again. 27 now. 27-12 with just 5.5 minutes gone.
This must be the first time in a World Championship final that the team has gone 5.5 minutes and have not missed a shot.
USA foul. The second team foul of the period.
There's Coleman bringing that rebound down. They look really flat and out of sorts in the first half and some of the second against the Greeks. Indeed, Don Nelson looks as if he was having trouble communicating with some of his players.
Well, the way they're playing now, it looks as though they may even be after a world record points in a match.
Certainly, whatever problems beset them yesterday seem to be a thing of the past. Dumas again. Coleman fails to hang on. Bazarevic. I should have made it. Coleman again. 2 and the bonus.
Well, at long last, the Americans have missed a shot.